Out here at Saratoga on a Saturday afternoon. Secretly at 12 to run, trained by Dwayne Lucas, trying for a double here today. There you see November Snow at 5 to 2, but the favorite from the West Coast, the Invader Pacific Squall, at 2 to 1. Fillies in the paddock. That's where our leading lady is, Chelsea Cannon.
Well, there are an unusually large amount of people in the paddock, the most beautiful of paddocks in racing, to see these fillies being saddled under the elms. However, the first filly we're going to look at, who has previously been unseen in the east, is saddling under the striped tent there in the saddling enclosure, and that is Pacific Squall, the Stormbird filly from California, fresh from her victory in the Hollywood Oaks. Now, she's only run 5 times. She's won 4 of them, including a stakes race on the turf. So she's not only talented, but she's versatile. And she seems to have some flexibility in her running style. She came from off the pace in the turf stakes. She likes to lay closer to the pace on the dirt. There you see her. She's wearing a yellow nylon bridle. She has a lip chain under her lip. She probably is a little bit tough in the paddock. It just keeps her quiet, keeps her from stepping on herself and hurting herself. She seems to be about the only filly in the race not wearing rundowns, which is sort of typical of California, but in the east, rundowns are a little bit more important. There's a lot of sand in the tracks here. All right, and now we're going to look now at Easy Now, who's saddling very close to me here under the trees. She is, of course, the half-sister to Easy Goer. She is by Danzig, whereas he was by Alidar. She has been chasing Turn Back the Alarm in her last 2 starts. She finished second to her in both the Mother Goose and the Coaching Club American Oaks. She's being saddled there, you see, by her trainer, Shug McGahee. She's been behaving very quietly here. Looks well. She's carrying her flesh. The question for her today is this off-track. She's never run in the mud before. Her brother, Easy Goer, wasn't particularly comfortable on an off-track either. The stable is sort of fighting an unusual circumstance. Shug McGahee hasn't won a race at the meet, which is really pretty shocking for him. Certainly will not last long.
On the track now for the 112th running of the Alabama Stakes. The distance is 1.1 miles. The purse is $200,000 added. 1.25 miles, excuse me. 1.25 miles is the distance here, and I'm sure that a few of these trainers have sent these fillies out wishing they could cut a bit off that and make it 1.1 miles. Interesting, this is only one of 2 1.25 mile races for 3-year-old fillies in the nation. The other also in New York at Belmont Park, the Coaching Club American Oaks, the final part of the Triple Tierra Series. Well, let's meet now the fillies for the Alabama of 1992. We'll start with the 1-horse, a $250,000 Keeneland sales purchase, a daughter of Secretariat. This is secretly from the Dwayne Lucas stable at 13 to 1, 5th in the Coaching Club American Oaks at this distance, 2nd at the Monmouth Oaks. Has never won a stakes race. Julie Crone is the rider, leading female rider of all time. She just won the Belmont Spring title, the first woman ever to win a riding title in New York. The 2-horse, the New York bred Queen of Triumph at 10 to 1, has not won since February, but has been up against the best. This is her 5th Grade 1 race in a row. She was 4th in the Coaching Club Oaks. George Chavez, native of Peru, is the rider. He's won titles at Belmont and at Aqueduct. The 3-horse, a $35,000 Keeneland sale purchase. This is November Snow, the second choice now at 2 to 1. Daughter of Stormcat, upset winner of the test at 7 furlongs, has never been past 1 mile and a 16th, though. If anyone can get a filly ready for it, though, it's the Hall of Fame trainer Alan Jerkins, the owner Earl Mack, a NYRA trustee, and the rider Chris Antley, leading New York rider in 1989. Of course, won the Kentucky Derby or Strike the Goal 2 years ago. The 4-horse is Viva No, 4th in both the Acorn and the Mother Goose. Just won an allowance race here at 7 furlongs and was 6th in last year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Filly race. 22 to run for Viva No, ridden by Jerry Bailey, top New York rider, president of the Jockeys Guild. The 5-horse, the Bay filly, New York bred Saratoga Dew, winner of the New York Oaks. You just met her owner, Charles Engel, not her owner, Sam Huff, has won 6 of 7 career starts at 3 different New York tracks. She's now at 5 to 1. The rider, Herb McCauley, tied with Mike Smith as New York's leading stakes-winning jockey. The 6-horse. This is from the Phipps stable, Easy Now, the half-sister who told you, of course, to Easy Goer. Now at 3 to 1 in the odds, 3rd choice, 2nd in the Oaks and the Mother Goose, looking for her first stakes win since last October. The best news for her is that Turn Back the Alarm is not in this race. She's been behind her 4 different times. Mike Smith, the rider, he is the defending Saratoga riding champion and the current leader at the meeting this summer. Rounding out the field, and here is the invader from the west at 2-1, co-favorite now with November Snow. Pacific Squall, owned by John Toffin and Trudy McCaffrey, has won 2 graded stakes wins in a row at Hollywood Park. After being unraced at 2, she's won 4 of 5 at 3. This, her first start out of California. She's got the services of one of the best, the all-time leading money winner, the Hall of Famer, Lafitte Pinkai Jr. And that is the field for the 1992 Alabama Stakes. Give you a look at the odds board now for the Alabama. Secretly at 15, Queen of Triumph at 10, November Snow. Second choice now at 2-1 from Alan Jerkin's stable. Vivino, a big price. Saratoga Dew at 6. Easy now, 3-1. And that is the third choice, Pacific Squall, 9-5. So the Easterners have gone for the Western horse here, Pacific Squall. And now let's meet our Bud Longshot for the Alabama Stakes of 1992.
Budweiser long shot here at Saratoga is, of course, Saratoga Dew. And she has a lot more going for her than just her name. She's won 6 of 7, including the Grade 2 Comley Stakes at Saratoga with her regular partner, Herb McCauley, who shares the lead in New York Stakes victories this year. Off track? No problem. She took to the New York Oaks over a off track, and she won that without even breaking a sweat. And class, you ask? Well, she's won more money than anyone else in the field this year, and she's beaten some pretty nice fillies like City Dance and Miss Iron Smoke. And she's a gutsy gal, as you can see in her victory here in the Comley. Breeding comes from a female family that produced a horse called Secretariat. In fact, she was bred by Big Red's owner, Penny Chenery. So our Budweiser long shot at Saratoga is a filly we think can do. Saratoga Dew.
Stormbird, and November Snow is by Stormbird's son Stormcat, so it's all in the family.
They're loading up for the 112th Alabama. Again, $200,000 added, but it's much more than the purse. It's the history and, of course, the glamour of winning a Grade 1 at Saratoga. And the man who will call up the voice of New York racing, Tom Durkin, as they load him up.
The gate here is key as we wait for Saratoga Dew. Easy now in Pacific Squall. Look at Pacific Squall when she breaks from the starting gate. She has a history of rearing up at the start. If she does break poorly, that might result in a softer pace, which could be certainly to the benefit of Saratoga Dew. Mudcock's won in this race by November Snow, who also has a bit of a history of breaking poorly from the gate. Pacific Squall, not particularly interested in going in, but now she's in. They're in the gate. And they're off in the Alabama. Good start for all of them. And from the middle of the pack, it's Vivino, and on the outside, Saratoga Dew. Saratoga Dew and Vivino will vie for the lead. Saratoga Dew to the front. Easy Now has come out running third, and Pacific Squall is fourth, running 4 wide as the field moves into the clubhouse turn. Down inside, Secretly is saving ground all the way with Queen of Triumph, and November Snow is the early trailer. But it's a tight pack. November Snow is only 4.5 lengths from the lead. And around the first turn, it's Saratoga Dew who leads the way after a solid first quarter of 23 1/5 seconds, with Vivino pushing her along in second position. Easy Now is just off the lead on the outside. Secretly is saved ground all the way. Pacific Squall has asked for a bit more run, now just off the lead, running in fourth position, about 4 lengths from the front. November Snow is still unhurried at the back of the pack with Queen of Triumph as they make their way up the backstretch. The half went in 47 1/5 seconds. Saratoga Dew committed to the lead as Vivino has been prompting the whole way. Easy Now is right there. Queen of Triumph just in behind the lead, and Pacific Squall has a clear aim for the lead on the outside. November Snow is beginning to pick it up now as they approach the half-mile pole. The trailer is Secretly as the field moves for the far turn. It's still Saratoga Dew. She's run the 3/4 in 1:11 2/5 seconds and is still there, holding the lead over Vivino. On the outside, it's Easy Now running third. November Snow is now fourth toward the inside. Pacific Squall is 5 lengths off the lead, but she's gaining no ground at this point as they move toward the top of the stretch. Saratoga Dew. Herb McCauley's trying to go wire to wire in the Alabama, and he turns for home with a 3-length lead. November Snow is trying to come to him from the inside now as the field is set down for the drive. Vivino on the outside is weakening in third. Pacific Squall laboring as the field comes to mid-stretch. Here comes November Snow as Saratoga Dew digs deep. Saratoga Dew desperately trying to hold November pushing on the outside. Here comes November Snow. Saratoga Dew. Those two battle it down for the wire. And November Snow wins by a desperate nose. Saratoga Dew was a very strong second, and it's close for third, Pacific Squall and Vivino. Oh, what a tight Alabama this was. Calling November Snow there did look to me like she got up by a nose, but give all the credit to Saratoga Dew as well, who ran a brave race this afternoon. The time was 2:02 and 3.
Racetrack may have made the difference here as they turn for home. Saratoga Dew is on the lead, and she'd had the lead all the way. Speed in the mud is very dangerous. On the rail just behind her now, swinging out in the maroon silks, is November Snow. She had been down inside, comes out for the stretch run, and here it's just a matter of courage from here home. Saratoga Dew holding on to the lead gamely, but Chris Antley able to just get up in the last few strides. Could have been the race over the track, made the difference, and gets a nose
the
victory.
rider battle was Chris Antley on November Snow on the outside. There you see Chris with the Stormcat 3-year-old filly. It was Herb McCauley on the inside with Saratoga Dew. What a finish in the 112th Alabama.
The fourth place finisher against the third place finisher, Vivino against Pacific Squall. Let's pick it up. Saratoga Dew is in front at this point. That's Vivino in the green and pink on the outside. November Snow down toward the inside and the brown silks coming out, and there you go. That might be the claim of foul right there. That's what they're looking at. So it wasn't near the finish line. It was more near the 8th pole. And November Snow coming out, perhaps in situations like this, if the jockey's whip touches the other horse's face, which may have happened there. I'm not saying that it is very difficult to pick up. That would